Chapter 41. You are listening at novelfull.audio. It's been several days, I forgot. It's so late, let's go to sleep. Li Hao would not admit such a thing, nor would he deny it. Shameless Lin Shirin had been with Li Hao for so many days, so she naturally knew how shameless he was. What she didn't expect was that Li Hao's means to occupy her were so despicable. I really don't know why the cousin who was full of righteousness and chivalry would become sworn brothers with him. It's so late, stop making trouble, they are all asleep. Lin Shirin wanted to push Li Hao's hand away, but her strength was a little weak. In Li Hao's view, Lin Shirin's actions clearly meant that she wanted to say something but didn't, and wanted to refuse but also welcomed. Sister Shirin, what did you often eat when you were a child? Yilin has secretly asked me several times. What else can I eat? I just eat some steamed buns and noodles. Lin Shirin naturally knew what Li Hao meant, and answered with a blushing face, this wicked person always finds some topics to break through his psychological defenses, making himself sink deeper and deeper. Sure enough, coarse grains are still good for health. Li Hao sighed. You can't take this away anymore, there's really nothing to wear. Lin Shirin said, holding a piece of silk, I've been embroidering small clothes every day these days, and my eyes are almost blinded by embroidery. As a result, I embroidered and washed them on the first day, put them on and wore them for a day on the second day, and I couldn't find them on the third day. If you say this has nothing to do with Li Hao, I won't believe it even if I'm beaten to death. Now I'm embroidering all day long, embroidering non-stop. Why don't you take Yilin and Sister Ning's, but take mine, woo-woo. It's too bullying. I just want to study Sister Shirin's craftsmanship, I really don't want to take it, it's an academic study. Li Hao blushed and said frankly. As for whether it's embarrassing or not, his principle is that as long as I'm not embarrassed, others will be embarrassed. Humph, you still want to resist, do you think my full-level understanding clothes are fake? The modern 4-row and 5-row buttons are not difficult for me to squeeze with one hand, and tying a bow is simply child's play for you. Soon, Lin Shirin's resistance was better than nothing. Sister Shirin, let's take a break. Li Hao saw that the time had come, so he didn't bother too much. At this time, silence is better than words, and it's useless to say more. In the early autumn season, frogs and insects are still chirping outside the window, but there is a hint of coolness in the air. I say you two stop quarreling, okay? You are affecting others' rest. These two people are really that, and don't pay attention to the impact at all. Lin is heartless and sleeps soundly. But I was woken up at the beginning. Ning Zhongzi thinks Li Hao did it on purpose, otherwise why would he make such a fuss regardless of the occasion? The key is, he just stretched out a claw and thought it was an itch. Indeed, it was an itch, and it made me itch. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Lin Shirin was embarrassed and quickly hid her head under the quilt. It's dawn, it's time to go out for morning exercise. Ning Zhongzi said angrily. The weather forecast says that the weather is bad today, not suitable for outdoor activities, and it's best to exercise indoors. Li Hao said with a smack of his lips. Who is the weather forecast? The name is weird. What is indoor exercise? Ning Zhongzi was very curious about the weather forecast. This little hooligan often said some words she had never heard of. You don't have to worry about the weather forecast, you should take care of yourself. On the night of the full moon, the top of the Forbidden City, a sword flew over, and the fairy flew from the sky. Ken Hezwang adopts the traditional Suzhou garden design. The flowers, plants and trees inside are well planned. There are no mosquitoes in summer and few leaves fall in winter. Living in it makes you feel relaxed and happy all the time. In addition, the quality of sleep is particularly good when living in it. Li Hao slept until about 10 o'clock before getting up. This time was estimated by him based on his biological clock. In his previous life, he used to sleep in the morning and write at night. Second young master, you are up. When Li Hao woke up, Ning Zhongzi and the others had already gotten up. Well, where are they? Li Hao looked around and didn't find Ning Zhongzi and the others. Li Hao's acceptance ability is very strong. The whole villa actually thinks that he is the second young master, so he must be the second young master. Anyway, their Murong family is rich, so it's okay for me to help spend some money. Who knows, after Murong Fu becomes stupid, this huge family property will be his own. Just thinking about it makes me feel good. It seems that I have to find a time to kill Murong Fu. Li Hao silently put killing Murong Fu on the agenda. Madam and the others went shopping in Gusu city early in the morning. Second young master, don't worry, brother Deng is accompanied by guards, and there will be no problem. Ah Zhu said casually, in Gusu, no dandy boy dared to offend Chanhe Manor. So what are you doing? Li Hao looked at the two girls standing at the door holding a gift box in their hands. Second young master, the housekeeper said that since you are back at the Murong family for the first time, let the two of us take you to meet your aunt. Abi was a good girl and could answer quickly. My aunt, who is it? Li Hao's heart skipped a beat. The aunt they were talking about couldn't be Mrs. Wang Li Qing Luo. This was a great beauty with a fairy-like face. Although Li Qing Luo was a little bit vicious, she was forced out by Duan Jingchen, and she was also a tragic figure. Wait, where is Duan Yu? Li Hao suddenly asked, damn, you must keep an eye on this little bastard and don't let him get close to Wang Yuyan, otherwise this sticky candy will definitely stick to him. Second young master, don't you know? Azu looked at Li Hao in confusion. What's going on? Li Hao left after collecting the comic strip yesterday, and Deng Baichuan was handling the rest of the matter. I don't know what made Master Duan crazy this morning. He wanted to commit suicide like crazy. He tried everything, such as jumping into the lake, hanging himself, jumping into a well, and slitting his throat. He calmed down after being stopped by Brother Deng, and then limped away. Second master, what did you do last night? Master Duan. Abai hesitated, looking shy. What can I do? You know I like pretty girls like you. As for whether Brother Deng did anything, I don't know. Li Hao smiled and made an expression like a wolf grandmother looking at Little Red Riding Hood. Deng Baichuan, don't you know what I did? It was all arranged by you. Second master, you are so bad. Zhu and Abai were embarrassed. Murong Fu is nearly 30 years old, although he is a very elegant gentleman, compared with Murong Fu, Zhu, Abai and other girls like Li Hao's badness. Rogues are not bad, for the sake of the next generation. Chapter 42. You are listening at novelfull.audio. At sunset, crows cry, frost fills the sky, maples on the river bank and fishing fires face me in sorrow. Outside the city of Gusu, the bells of Hanshan Temple ring at midnight on the passenger ship. The scenery of Gusu, the water of Gusu, and the girls of Gusu are so beautiful, that on a luxurious ship on Taihu Lake in Suzhou, Li Hao lies on a couch, with Zhu and Abai serving him closely. Zhu feeds him wine, Abai feeds him fruit, and there are also Gusu specialty snacks, and there are also two stunning maids massaging his legs. There is also a group of musicians playing music on the ship, and a dozen beautiful women in gauze are dancing in the middle. Second young master, when we get to Mantua Villa, you must not run around. Auntie is very fierce. Bai's face turned pale when she mentioned Madame Wang. What's the matter? Has she bullied you? Li Hao raised his head and asked. When he raised his head, he happened to see Bai lowering her head to feed him, and they ended up having a mouth-to-mouth sex. Second master, you. Bai covered her mouth, her face instantly turned red, her eyes were watery, and she was so cute. Sister Bai is shy, Okay, Bai, don't worry about Zhu making fun of you, you are even. Just when Zhu was making fun of Bai, Li Hao hit her with lightning speed. Zhu and Bai screamed instantly, climbed on Li Hao's body, and waved their little fists to hit him. However, Li Hao's advantage is that he is thick-skinned, and the fists of the two were weak and powerless, so he directly regarded them as massages for him, soft and fragrant, so elegant. Second master, two girls, the dock of Mantua Villa is coming soon. The three of them made a fuss for a while, and a maid came in to report. However, from her trembling tone, it can be seen that these people are very afraid of Mantua Villa. Abi, you haven't told me yet whether my cheap aunt has bullied you. Li Hao said while hugging Abi's waist. After the commotion just now, the relationship between the three has increased a lot. Now they will not object to Li Hao's intimate actions, but will have a feeling of anticipation. Brother Xiao Feng, I'm sorry. It's just that Miss Azu is too charming and the system is too shameless. Li Hao shamelessly put the blame on Azu and the system, and he was not responsible at all. No, it's just that we secretly went to the island before to send the news of the young master to the cousin, and we were seen by the aunt a few times, so we were punished a little. Abi said with a red face. What kind of punishment? The young master will avenge you later, and she will hit you back twice as much later. Li Hao asked curiously. Really? Abi asked happily. Really, for the beauty, Li Hao can do anything. Last time, Zhu was delivering a letter and was caught by my aunt and was beaten with 30 boards. After returning to the perfume pavilion, she couldn't even sit on a stool and had to lie on her stomach to sleep. Bai covered her mouth and laughed. Beat my butt and make it swollen. I have to lie on my stomach to sleep. Li Hao was speechless. Bai was digging a hole for herself. Second master, Bai was joking. Although my aunt treated us badly, that was her personality. Everyone on the island knew us. When they attacked, they lifted heavy and put light, so we were not injured. Zhu explained hurriedly, this second master is really always staring at people's butts, so shy. Who are you? Stop the boat and stay. This is a private restricted area. Anyone who trespasses will be killed without mercy. Just as the big ship was about to approach the dock, a group of women in tight clothes and holding weapons rushed over. The person who led the shouting was an old woman in her 50s, who was stout, short, dark, and looked extremely fierce. Madam He, I may buy. I'm here with the order of our housekeeper to bring the second son of the Murong family to Mantua Villa to meet my aunt. Bai shouted loudly, according to the rules of Mantua Villa, no one is allowed to enter without permission. Of course, all the martial arts schools have such rules, and Li Hao is not surprised. The dark-skinned one is Granny He. Although she looks fierce, she is very kind to us. She is in charge of the punishment of Mantua Villa. Every time my aunt punishes us, she does it herself, and we have never been hurt. Zhu explained in a low voice. She is so good to you. Li Hao lowered his head and whispered in Zhu's ear. It is said that Granny He liked our old housekeeper when she was young, so she loved everyone in the house and never made things difficult for anyone who joined the villa. But she can be fierce to outsiders. Zhu blushed, and she felt flustered by Li Hao's intimate attitude. I see, it seems that the old butler is not very good-looking either. Li Hao pursed his lips. The old butler was really hungry and did not choose his food, as he was willing to take a fancy to such a thing. Don't talk nonsense, the old butler is young, that he was very handsome when he was young, and he fascinated many young girls and wives in Suzhou. Even now that he is old, he is still elegant and easygoing. Many maids in the village are interested in the old housekeeper. Azu explained hurriedly. So that's it. The old housekeeper has devoted himself to the Murong family until his death. Even a woman like He Papa can be used as a beauty trap. Li Hao sincerely admired the old housekeeper whom he had never met. This old man has a good mouth and eats both meat and vegetables. Don't talk nonsense. He Papa was also very beautiful back then. It was just because she was poisoned and the toxins were deposited in her body. Over time, she became like this. Azu glanced at Li Hao. This guy's words can make people angry. Little girl, you dare to stare at me. Li Hao was walking behind, and seeing Zhu's contemptuous look, he slapped her on the back. Soft and sticky, but still powerful. Li Hao finally made up his mind this time, not to mention Xiao Feng. Even if his own father came, he couldn't let Zhu go. The bad guy Zhu was suddenly attacked and fell directly into Li Hao's arms. Be careful, don't fall, I'll help you. Li Hao said shamelessly. Thank you, second young master, Zhu doesn't need help. After saying that, she broke free from Li Hao's arms and jumped ashore. Young master, Bai is seasick and can't walk anymore, what should I do? Bai's voice was soft and sticky, making Li Hao feel like eating ice cream in December, with goosebumps all over his body. Chapter 43. You are listening at novelfull.audio. No. Hearing that Li Hao was going to carry her off the boat, Bai turned around and wanted to run. You want to run away after teasing the young master, don't you know how the young master got his start? After saying that, Li Hao's figure floated and flew to Bai's side in an instant. Bai only felt her body numb, and the whole person fell down, and then Li Hao reached out and picked her up, and Bai was carried by Li Hao like a princess. Just now, Li Hao chased people, pressed acupoints, and carried her like a princess in one go. The elegant and graceful movements made hundreds of women from Canhezwang and Montua Villa on and off the boat very excited. Young Master Hao has such a good qigong, I admire him. The black grandmother saw Li Hao's kung fu and immediately stepped forward to greet him. Li Hao meets Granny Black. Thank you for taking care of Zhu and Bai over the years. Here are a few hundred herb pills, which are a token of my appreciation. Li Hao held Bai in one hand, and handed the dark-skinned old woman a small jade bottle with the other hand. Inside the jade bottle were 600 herb pills that could cure all kinds of poisons, which Granny Black might need. Mr. Hao, you are too polite. These are what I should do. As for the gift, please take it back. This is 100 herb pills, a magical detoxifying medicine from Medicine King Valley. Except for those rare poisons in the world, it can cure all common poisons, including crane's beak red and broken heart powder. Granny Black was not finished talking when Li Hao interrupted her very rudely. Thank you, Mr. Hao, for your kindness. I am ashamed. Granny Black put away the jade bottle and did not say anything like please take it back. No need to thank me, this is what I should do. These two little girls have caused so much trouble. If it weren't for the protection of the mother-in-law, I guess their butts would have been beaten to pieces long ago. Second young master, how could we cause any trouble? Bai and Zhu were fed up and both came up to him. Okay, you didn't cause any trouble, stop making trouble, the young master has something important to do today, we'll talk about it after we go back. Li Hao surrendered, put Bai on the ground, slapped her on the face, and untied her acupuncture points. As soon as the acupuncture points were untied, Bai immediately ran far away. However, after running a few steps, she was shy again and walked slowly behind Li Hao. Although the people in Montua Villa knew the two of them, they couldn't run around. Cousin. A figure shouted while running over quickly. Miss. A group of maids behind her chased after her with their skirts lifted. Ding, Wang Yuyan, ranking 71. System, isn't it just Wang Yuyan? She is powerless, but I can still control her. The sky is dark today, I looked up and saw that the cattle were all in the sky. Cousin, you finally came to see me. A girl rushed in and threw herself into Li Hao's arms. Hey, cousin, if you want to hug me, let's go to the backyard room and hug slowly, okay? There are so many people here, cousin is shy. As soon as Li Hao opened his mouth, the servants beside him were shocked. What are you talking about? You two have no matchmaker or appointment, and you just open your mouth to enter the room. Also, you were flirting with Bai in front of everyone just now, but now you are shy, how can you be so shameless? You are not my cousin, who are you? Wang Yuyan, who was lying in Li Hao's arms happily, suddenly realized that her cousin did not speak with this accent. Morong Fu has a Jiangsu accent, while Li Hao speaks Mandarin, and there is a big difference between the two. It would be fine if he didn't speak, but once he spoke, he was exposed. Who am I? I am also your cousin. Li Hao hugged Wang Yuyan and said affectionately. Wang Yuyan was so angry that she couldn't speak, she wanted to break free from Li Hao's arms, but she didn't have the strength, and this pervert was unwilling to let go, but she couldn't blame him, because she rushed over and hugged him. "Mr. Hao, we will be at the villa soon, and the lady is waiting inside." Miss Black Granny didn't finish her words, but everyone understood her meaning. The girl's mother is waiting for you inside, and you are hugging her girl outside and not letting go. This seems a bit inappropriate. "Cousin, I will come to talk to you after I pay my respects to my aunt." Li Hao let go of Wang Yuyan, because he knew that Black Granny was right. Li Qingluo was indeed waiting for him inside, because the system had already reminded him. Young master, let's go in." Fortunately, Ah Zhu reminded him in time, otherwise Li Hao would probably be drooling on the spot. Ding, Li Qingluo, ranking 83, sure enough, if you are not from the same family, you will not enter the same door. The genes of the fairy sisters' family are extraordinary. The third value of both of them is higher than the first value. "My nephew Li Hao, see you, I'm your aunt." Li Hao walked into the living room and bowed to a stunningly beautiful woman sitting in the middle. "Look up, you are Li Hao, the second son of the Murong family?" the stunningly beautiful woman said in confusion. But when Li Hao raised his head, her doubts immediately disappeared. What the hell is the child lost outside by Murong Bo's younger brother? This must be Murong Bo's bastard outside, otherwise how could he look like Murong Fu, that kid, in the same mold, but there is a little difference. When Murong Fu looked at her, he always lowered his head and didn't dare to look at her face, but this kid is different. After raising his head, his two eyes kept looking up and down her body. Li Qingluo has sufficient reason to believe that this guy will be even more presumptuous. "I don't know about this either. Anyway, I am Li Hao, and I don't know whether I am the second son of the Murong family." Li Hao spread his hands. He did not object, refuse, or explain to the Murong family's claim that he was the second young master. If they asked him to change his name to Murong Hao, Li Hao would not refuse, provided that the things you gave him were enough. "You are very good and courageous, much better than that pedantic hypocrite Murong Fu. It seems that the Murong family is still not doomed." Chapter 44. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Well, Aunt is right. I also think that my brother whom I have never met is too pedantic. Li Hao flattered Li Qingluo directly. "Then tell me, how pedantic is your brother?" Li Qingluo was immediately interested. Although she hated men, she was a little interested in Li Hao. Even Wang Yuyan next to her was very curious. She hadn't seen Murong Fu for 5 years. The last time they met, she was only 11 years old. She was ignorant and could not be considered love, but only dependence on her brother. Women, they all fall for a man after being interested and curious about him. Murong Fu is the eldest son of the Murong family. If Fu Yen succeeds, he will be the future emperor of Dian. How can a monarch have a woman's kindness and be decisive in killing and fighting? It is better to let the world down than for the world to let me down. This is the kingly way. Li Hao said domineeringly. In fact, he didn't say this to Li Qingluo, he said it to Murong Bo who was hiding behind the scenes. "Look, I am so domineering, I am more suitable to inherit everything in Chanhe Manor than Murong Fu." Anyone who has watched Tianlong Babu knows that Murong Bo can do anything to restore Yen. If Li Hao is better than Murong Fu, Murong Bo can immediately abandon Murong Fu and choose Li Hao. However, Li Hao made 1,000 calculations, but he did not expect that Murong Bo had already made a decision between him and Murong Fu. Although the alliances can accomplish things, there are too many illusions of letting wolves into the house. Besides, the Central Plains is not chaotic enough now. No matter how he stirs up trouble, he can't affect the overall situation. It's better to come back and continue to manage Chanhe village, recruit soldiers, gather money and food, and wait for the opportunity. Nan Murong has a big name, but it's all false. This false name is useless. If you have no money, no power, and no territory, who will work for you? He is too idealistic. Because he has made a name for himself, when the time comes, he will have a lot of people to follow him. Unfortunately, there are many people in the world who are more famous than him. Xiao Feng, Guo Jing, Zhang Sanfeng, Yan Shisan, Xia Xiaofeng, Yan Nan Tian, etc., can't be counted. What is Nan Murong? Who is Li Hao? He was a famous writer in his previous life. He likes to argue with the trolls who blacken him in the comments section of his novel. He can taunt people all day without repeating himself, and he doesn't use a single dirty word. Well, I'm thirsty. Li Hao picked up the tea on the table in front of him and drank it all in one gulp. Good tea, full of fragrance, rich and fragrant, but a little cold. I was just talking about that. Li Hao smacked his lips, with a crisp sound of clang. A plate in the hands of a maid at the door fell to the ground. What's the matter? Are you scared by my brother's bold words? Ha! Li Hao laughed triumphantly. Young master, you just drank the wrong tea, you drank your aunt's tea. A Bai hurriedly stepped forward and pulled the corner of Li Hao's clothes. No way. Li Hao was startled. Looking up, he saw Li Qingluo sitting in front of him, and there was an empty teacup on her left hand. It turned out that when Li Hao was talking excitedly just now, he walked to Li Qingluo's side unconsciously. Aunt, I'm sorry for my rudeness. Li Hao smiled embarrassedly, immediately returned to his seat, picked up his tea and drank it all. What's your name, and when did you come to the island? Li Qingluo's pretty face turned blue, and she looked at the maid at the door and asked. Li Qingluo was hurt in love when she was young, and she was abandoned after her belly was enlarged. With nowhere to go, she had to find the owner of Montua Villa. Fortunately, the other party was her loyal lick dog, who didn't care about her past at all, and became a scapegoat under the opposition of everyone. Unfortunately, good people never live long, and lick dogs don't have a good result in the end. The owner of Montua Villa, Murong Fu's uncle, never hit a home run until his death. Tell me if it's tragic or not. Of course, Li Qingluo has not been touched by other men for so many years, so that her tea was drunk by Li Hao just now, which actually made her feel a little ashamed. My name is Duan. Your last name is Duan. Li Qingluo's face turned darker. Yes, master. The maid fell to the ground in fear. Grandma Bai, take her down and chop her up for fertilizer. Li Qingluo said angrily. Master, spare me. The maid burst into tears in fear. Little girl, don't cry, I'm very gentle, it won't hurt. An old woman with white hair appeared next to the maid, and her gentle tone sounded like the kind old lady next door, but what she said chilled the hearts of those present, saying the cruelest words in the gentlest tone. What do you mean by being very gentle and not painful? How can it hurt when someone is dead? Aunt, people are not saints, who can be without fault. This maid didn't do anything wrong, so she shouldn't be sentenced to death. Li Hao quickly pleaded. Although this maid didn't look very good, he still felt uncomfortable watching a young girl die in front of him. It was such a waste. She deserves to die. Li Qingluo bit her lip and said. Because her last name is Duan. Li Hao didn't care what her reason was. He couldn't kill anyone he wanted to save. At most, he would turn against Li Qingluo. She was Murong Fu's aunt, not his own aunt. There was no need to spoil her. You just said that if a ruler can't distinguish between rewards and punishments, how can he convince the people? This maid made a mistake, and I punished her according to the rules of Montua Villa. It shouldn't be wrong. Li Qingluo found that Li Hao was actually a little pleasing to the eye. He could actually turn against himself for a maid he had just met. He was a man. Yes, distinguishing between rewards and punishments doesn't mean we should kill innocent people. If the upper king kills people at will, then the people below you will think that they are in an unsafe state, and they will only fear you in their hearts instead of obeying you. When you lose power and become destitute one day, your enemies don't even need to do anything, they will take the opportunity to get rid of you and gain true freedom. Li Hao sneered at Li Qingluo's so-called clear rewards and punishments. Don't think I don't know that you killed her because her surname is Duan. You are very brave. You dare to contradict me like this. Aren't you afraid that I will kill you? Li Qingluo's pretty face was dark. Aunt, I advise you not to threaten me. I am timid. If I am frightened, I will tremble, and if I tremble, it may cost someone's life. Li Hao stared at Li Qingluo's legs and said. At the same time, several golden needles as thin as cow hair appeared in his hand. Cow hair golden needles are specially used to break the protective qi. With Li Hao's strength, no one in the hall of Mantua Villa was confident that they could escape. Chapter 45. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Black Granny, throw this maid out of Mantua Villa and send her back. Li Qingluo's face was full of grievance. This was the first time she was threatened by someone, and the one threatening her was her junior. As the owner of Mantua Villa, she certainly knew what had happened in the martial arts world recently, and she was even more aware of the reputation of Li Hao Sanju Gongzi and his true strength. I didn't expect that the daughter of Li Qiushui of the Xiaoyao sect would fall to this point and be threatened by a young boy. Li Qingluo, if you call me a good husband a few times and be my woman from now on, I can spare your life and help you kill this young man who bullied you. A huge voice resounded through the world. Thousands of miles of sound transmission, Grandmaster. Li Qingluo showed a look of surprise on her face. No, you can't be a Grandmaster. Who are you? Li Qingluo drew out his long sword and said nervously. To be honest, Li Qingluo didn't have the martial arts aptitude like her mother Li Qiushui, and since she had no one to teach her since she was a child, she could only barely reach the peak of innateness. Of course, if she hadn't tasted the forbidden fruit at a young age, lost her virginity to Duan Jingchen, and finally turned against him and lived in hatred for the rest of her life, her martial arts achievements would have been slightly higher. I advise you not to resist. A few screams, and several figures were thrown in. Then, the carved doors and windows around the living room were all broken, and a large number of burly, armored men rushed in with knives. Bold Black Granny and White Granny were instantly furious, and they picked up their swords and started fighting with them. As for Ah Zhu and Ah Bai, who accompanied Li Hao to the island, they immediately blocked him. Li Hao was very moved, and he stretched out his hand and pulled the two to sit on his thighs. As for Wang Yuyan, she stood behind Li Hao honestly. Be quiet, don't move. The young master is not weak enough to need your protection. Li Hao slapped each of them on the legs, and Ah Zhu and Ah Bai immediately became quiet. Is our ship docked at the pier? Li Hao asked in a low voice. Our ship sent us here and returned. It will come in the evening. Ah Bai blushed and replied immediately. That's fine. I'm worried that if the ship stops at the pier, the girls on the ship may be killed by them. That would be a waste. Li Hao licked his lips. Those are all Murong. No, they are all mine. No one can take them away. As more and more armored men surrounded Mantua Villa, Li Qingluo's face became darker and darker. These strange armored men were not only powerful in martial arts, but also ruthless. Except for the two black and white women, all the warriors of Mantua Villa in the hall died tragically, including the girl surnamed Duan who was rescued by Li Hao before. Who are you? I, Mantua Villa, don't travel around the world, and I have no grudges against you. Don't say that. I came to you for a reason. Although you are a little older, you are beautiful and I like you. As long as you are willing to serve me with your daughter, I can consider letting you two live. The leader of the armored people said in a muffled voice. Don't even think about it. Li Qingluo was so angry that her chest was heaving. The men inside and outside the room were dazzled, including Li Hao. Li Qingluo was so angry at the words of the visitor that both of them were in pain. This matter is not up to you. Hey, I didn't expect that there are two stunning beauties here besides you and your daughter. Boy, take your dirty hands off my women, I can consider letting you die easily, otherwise I will make you live a life worse than death. The armored man looked at Li Hao's claws on the legs of the two women, rubbing them back and forth, and was immediately furious. These women were his pre-selected ones, and Li Hao's behavior was a cuckold. Aniha Seo Li Hao suddenly said a strange language. What a bullshit. The armored man obviously didn't know the meaning of this sentence. I don't understand, it seems that you are not from the central kingdom of the universe. Since you are not their people, I will boldly guess your origins. Did your queen mother send you here? No, your queen mother is too late to protect her. I guess you want to kidnap Li Qingluo to threaten your queen mother. Li Hao said casually. Who are you? The armored man's voice was a little trembling. If this matter was spread, even if he was a master, he would not be able to escape the pursuit of that person. I am the amorous swordsman Li Hao. The gossipers in the world like to call me the Three Wonders, but I have another attribute, the Jianhu know-it-all. If you want to know something secret, as long as you can afford it, I can tell you. Li Hao's the chatterbox attribute came out again. Do you think I will leave a scourge like you in this world? Boy, people who know too much often don't live long. The armored man said grimly. In this case, I also advise you to try to go out at noon. Li Hao also said. What do you mean? The armored man was a little confused. Because you are so arrogant, it is estimated that something will happen sooner or later. Looking for death, the armored man was furious. This kid dared to curse himself when he was about to die. You hide aside first. Li Hao shot left and right, and instantly threw Zhu, Bai, and Wang Yuyan behind Li Qingluo. My dear aunt, please take care of the three of them first. Ha! Li Hao made a move with his hand, and a handful of cow hair gold needles shot out, scaring the armored man to retreat more than 10 meters in an instant. Li Qingluo heard Li Hao call her dear, and was about to scold Li Hao for being shameless. As a result, the next second, Li Hao casually struck and scared the armored man at the peak of the Grandmaster level, so that she couldn't say the words that were on her lips. Oxhair needle, I didn't expect that Li Hao, who is famous for his chivalry, is good at using such a vicious hidden weapon. You can't judge a person by his appearance. The armored man shook his head and said, trying his best to hide the embarrassment of being scared away by a young man. Alas, you don't understand this. My hidden weapon is usually used to save people, and it can also be used to kill people when necessary. If I kill you here today, I will spread that the armored man killed innocent people in Mantua Villa and molested Li Qingluo. I, Li Hao, rescued my aunt after she was humiliated, and fought to the death to kill the armored man. Tell me, do more people scold me or praise me in the world? Li Hao thought about it. It was obvious that the armored man was not a good person. He decided not to charge him for training, so as to prevent him from cheating people outside in the name of his student in the future. Li Qingluo, I am still fine now. When did I suffer humiliation? Chapter 46. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Li Hao's words stunned everyone in the hall. Abi, do you think the young master has any special hobbies? Azu said as he looked at Li Hao, who was confronting the armored man. No way, I think the young master is quite normal. Abi didn't think too much, and looked at Li Hao with eyes full of stars. Do you know the origins of the three ladies? Azu hesitated for a while, but still said it in a low voice. The two of them spoke in a very low voice, and even Wang Yuyan standing next to them couldn't hear it. However, it couldn't escape Li Qingluo's ears. The three ladies, very good. There are so many women who dare to have ideas about Yuyan. I will make you live a life worse than death. If everyone thinks that the old housekeeper asked Li Hao to visit Li Qingluo because of her aunt's identity, then they are wrong. Murongbo asked Li Hao to visit Li Qingluo to tell her that Wang Yuyan will not marry Murongfu in the future, but Li Hao. The purpose of letting Li Hao come here is to let the mother-in-law meet her son-in-law in advance, which is to pave the way for Li Hao to integrate the power of Canha village in the future. However, Li Qingluo did not show these on the surface. Li Hao is strong enough, and if he wants to kill him, he has to plan for a long time. I don't know, the three ladies are all beautiful and charming. Is there something wrong with their identities? Looking at the behavior, appearance, and conversation of the three ladies, they should all be from decent families. Abai was a little confused. Are all the ladies not decent women? Oh, do you know the origin of Madame Yilin? Zhu found that Abai had misunderstood and quickly interrupted her guess. You say, I listen. Abai pricked up her ears. Any woman, whether beautiful or not, has a fiery gossip heart. Li Luo is no exception. She listened more seriously than Abai. Madame Yilin is a disciple of Master Dingyi of Hengshan. She became a nun when she was young and returned to secular life recently. Wow, the young master is really amazing. He can even make a nun return to secular life for him. No wonder Madame Yilin's hair is so short. Bai couldn't help but admire. Zhu's pretty face twitched when she saw Bai's reaction. Did you misunderstand the meaning of my words? Who would hook up with a nun these days? Zhu, please tell me the origins of the other two ladies. Bai pulled Zhu's sleeve and begged. Let's not talk about it. Compared with them, Yilin is still normal. The identities of the other two ladies are a bit ruining. Zhu was a little entangled. Should I tell Bai? Hurry up, I can't wait any longer. Okay, Mrs. Lin's full name is Lin Shirin. You should have heard of this name. She is the first wife of Long Xiaoyun of Xinyan Manor, but now she is with the young master. As for Mrs. Ning, she has a great background. It is speculated that she may be the wife of Yu Buchuan, the head of the Huashan sect of the Five Mountain Sword sect, and the Huashan female hero Ning Zhongzi. Zhu told everything she had found out. Young master is so amazing, I like him so much. Bai looked at Li Hao with green eyes. Zhu, did you understand it wrong? I was asking if the young master had any special hobbies. These three ladies, nuns, wives, and young women, what else will there be in the future? I really can't tell. Li Luo looked at Li Hao, who was fighting with the armored man from inside the house to outside the house, and her whole expression changed. She must not let this kid leave the island alive, otherwise her precious daughter would be eaten up by him sooner or later. General Helian, can we stop? You should be very clear about my identity. Seeing that you didn't use your full strength, I guess you don't dare to kill me. We have no conflict of interest. On the contrary, we can cooperate on some negative aspects. There is no need to fight to the death. Li Hao suddenly stepped back more than 10 meters and said. You know our identity. The armored man's tone was full of doubt. Black armor, scimitar, high martial arts, killing without blinking an eye, there are only a few forces in the world that meet these conditions. There are even fewer peak masters leading teams in the rivers and lakes. The most important thing is that you are here to kidnap my dearest aunt, so your identity is obvious. Xixia Yipentang, General Helian Taishu. We have no conflict of interest. If we join forces. Sometimes you can't say it clearly. With Helian Taishu's IQ, he naturally understands the meaning of Li Hao's words. Humph, do you think I will believe you? Helian Taishu was a little entangled. I am Li Hao, the second son of the Gusu Murong family. Do you think our goals are the same? Li Hao said carelessly, it seems that at some point, the name of the Murong family is still useful. Okay, if you can lend me a hand, I will definitely help you with your Murong family's affairs. When Li Hao mentioned the Gusu Murong family, Helian Taishu immediately understood the meaning of his words. He grabbed Li Qingluo, wanted to threaten the queen mother of Xixia and then become the emperor. The purpose of the Murong family was to restore the country and also wanted to become the emperor. Before becoming the emperor, the two of them not only had no conflict of interest, but in a sense they could cooperate. Okay, our two families will benefit from cooperation. Li Hao bowed. Then these women. Helian Taishu pointed his sword directly at Li Qingluo. Don't mess around, they are all women I have chosen, except for the two old ladies. Li Hao hurriedly stopped Helian Taishu, fearing that this guy would suddenly make a move and kill people to silence them. Grandma Bai, arrange for someone to clean up here and prepare food. I want to keep them for dinner. Today's incident is thanks to Li Hao. After Helian Taishu left with the people from Yipentang, Li Qingluo began to order the warriors of Montua Villa to clean up the scene. Young master, you are so awesome. Abai is now Li Hao's little fangirl, and she hugs Li Hao's waist at every turn. Zhu didn't have the courage and could only stand by. Wang Yuyan was far away. This cousin was too lustful and would touch him at any time. Time passed quickly and it was evening in a blink of an eye. The boat that came to pick up people from the Murong family was also notified to go back, saying that Li Hao would stay at Mantua Villa tonight. Ning Zhongzi and Lin Shirin were very happy to hear the news. They could finally rest for a night. Black Granny, send Ah Zhu, Abai and Yuyan to the bedroom and let them rest. White Granny, send Li Hao to the secret room in my room. At the dinner table, Li Qingluo looked at the people lying on the table and ordered the Black and White Granny. Madam, Mr. Hao is the son of the Murong family. Black Granny immediately advised. Black Granny, execute the order. No one can change Madam's decision. White Granny carried Li Hao and walked straight to Li Qingluo's bedroom. Alas, old housekeeper, I'm sorry, this time I can't do anything. Black Granny shook her head. She knew that no one who was sent into the secret room in Li Qingluo's room came out alive. Chapter 47. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Grandma Bai, get out. In the secret room, Grandma Bai tied Li Hao's hands and feet to the stone bed with cow tendons. In order to prevent Li Hao from breaking free, 2 thumb-thick iron chains were added to his feet. Madam, if I hadn't stayed here, just in case. Grandma Bai said cautiously. At the same time, she felt sorry for Li Hao. Her own wife's torture methods were beyond her reach. Everyone in Mantua Villa thought that she was cruel, but in fact, compared with her wife, she was the most merciful. Go out, do you think he can still resist in this state? You stay outside, and no one is allowed to come in without my order if there is any noise inside. If Yuyan and the others come, tell them that I'm out. Li Qingluo thought for a while and continued. Yes, madam, I promise that no one can come in and disturb you. The location of this secret room was only known to Grandma Heibai. If they didn't tell her, no one would know about it. Hua La waited for Grandma Bai to go out and closed the stone door. Li Qingluo picked up a glass of water on the table and splashed it on Li Hao's face. Damn it, who splashed water on me? Li Hao woke up instantly. My dear Qingluo, what's going on? Li Bai saw the iron chains and cow tendon ropes tied to his hands and feet, and his face immediately changed color. I didn't expect that someone as cautious as me would be fooled by others. I made a mistake. I have no place to put my face this time. What's going on? Do you know who I hate the most? Li Qingluo sneered. I know that you hate men with the surname Duan the most. Li Hao said humbly, damn, people have to bow their heads under the eaves. This woman is a well-known psychopath. I can't stimulate her anymore. Now my hands and feet are tied up, just like meat on the chopping board. Let her cut. No, this tiger woman didn't even disperse her own power or acupuncture. God really doesn't want to kill me. Li Hao was overjoyed, but he still had to pretend to be worried and scared on his face, so that it would be fun. Huh, you dare to trick me, I don't know if you can afford this price. Li Hao stared at Li Qingluo's chest with his eyes rolling, and he almost wiped his saliva with a tissue. You dare to be so rude when you are about to die. I will dig out your eyeballs and soak them in wine and send them back to Chanha village. Li Qingluo was furious. This little bastard was disrespectful to her from the beginning. He stared at her chest and legs from the beginning, then drank the tea in his cup to kiss indirectly, and finally told the iron-armored man again and again that she was his woman. Li Qingluo even suspected that the iron-armored man was the hidden power of the Murong family. Otherwise how could a person in the early stage of innateness fight with a master at the peak of the master level? Then what should we do to be polite? Do you want to take off your clothes, lie on the bed and talk about this issue properly? Li Hao said with a smile. As long as he didn't lose his power, he wasn't afraid of any restraint. You're looking for death. I wanted to give you a quick death for the sake of our relationship, but I've changed my mind this time. Li Qingluo's pretty face turned pale, and she took a boning knife and chopped at little Li Zi. Swoosh, a sword energy flashed, and the boning knife in Li Qingluo's hand was knocked away. Gotcha! With a crisp sound, the thumb-thick iron chain tied to Li Hao's left hand broke into 2 pieces. Sunflower acupuncture hand freed his left hand. and Li Hao immediately sealed the acupuncture points on Li Qingluo's upper body, making her unable to move immediately. How did you break the iron chain? Li Qingluo looked at Li Hao in confusion. When Grandma Bai sent Li Hao in, she searched his whole body, even his underwear. There was nothing else on his body except clothes. Humph, without some means of saving my life, would I dare to come to your tiger's den? Li Hao smiled. Crack! Li Hao's left little finger shot out several sword energies, and the iron chains and cow tendon ropes that bound his legs and right hand broke. What do you want to do? Li Qingluo shouted. She hoped that Granny Bai outside the secret room would find something wrong and come in to save her. However, she forgot that in order to prevent people from discovering this secret, the entire secret room was soundproofed. Even if the world inside was doomsday, people outside would not find any problems. What do you think, my Qingluo? Li Hao raised her smooth chin with his hand. How dare you, I'm your elder. Li Qingluo's eyes were full of despair. Now that you know I'm your elder, why didn't you think of it when you attacked little Li just now? If the knife just now had been cut, even if she didn't die, she could only go to Dongfang Bubi to live with her. Also, you are Murong Fu's elder, and you are my elder. It doesn't matter. Hey, what is this thing? Li Bai stared at a diamond-shaped piece of yellow silk in his hand in a daze. It seemed to be taken out from Li Qingluo just now. What did he do just now? It seems that it may be related to the skill of Maya Shukonkong just now. The yellow silk is very smooth and it is a top-grade product at a glance. It is embroidered with bright camellias, which is extremely exquisite. I didn't expect Qingluo's embroidery skills to be so good. I wonder how my cousin Yuyan's embroidery works. Li Hao swallowed his saliva and stuffed the piece of silk into his chest pocket under Li Qingluo's murderous gaze. You are not allowed to have ideas about Yuyan, otherwise I will not let you go even if I become a ghost. Li Qingluo just felt a chill in her chest, and the small clothes on her body disappeared. What kind of trick is this? There is no problem with the silk clothes wrapped in layers outside, but the innermost, the most intimate one is missing. I am not afraid of you as a person. Do you think I will be afraid of you as a ghost? What, you want to commit suicide? Li Hao pinched Li Qingluo's chin. It turned out that this woman just felt that there was no hope of turning the tables, and was actually ready to bite her tongue to commit suicide. I can't kill you, so you won't even let me die. Li Qingluo burst into tears. She shouldn't have woken him up at the beginning. It would have been much easier to just stab him with a knife. If you die, how can you take revenge? Duan Jingchun is now surrounded by women, and he is traveling around with Qin Hongmian, Don Baobao, and Ruan Xingzhu. As long as you obey me, I can not only let you enjoy wealth and glory, and the ultimate happiness in the world, but most importantly, I can help you get revenge, kill Duan Jingchun, and then rob his people in front of him. You devil! Li Qingluo's death intention slowly faded. She wanted to see Duan Jingchun watch his lover being taken away, humiliated, and then slowly die in helplessness, rather than being humiliated by Li Hao. She didn't doubt what Li Hao said at all, because with Li Hao's personality, he could do anything, even if she bit her tongue to commit suicide, as long as the body was still warm. Chapter 48. You are listening at novelfull.audio. When Li Qingluo no longer thought of dying, Li Hao's highlight moment arrived. Granny Bai, who was guarding outside the secret room, didn't know that her wife could still be overturned even though she had an absolute advantage. At this moment, she kept her eyes and ears open, carefully observing the surrounding environment to avoid being disturbed. As for the faint panting and screaming coming from inside, she just thought it was an illusion. After all, the wife was alone in the boudoir, so she should relax and vent properly, right? Congratulations to the host for successfully collecting the 803rd place in the Comprehensive Martial Arts Collection, the owner of Mantua Villa, Li Qingluo. The reward is being calculated. Congratulations to the host for obtaining non-attribute internal force *10, sad breeze and antidote *999, villain value *1000. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a high-definition Polaroid system built-in camera. Secret technique, empty hands, Grandmaster level. The system has detected that the host has obtained a new function plug-in, the system is being upgraded, and the upgrade time is 15 minutes. The rest of the functions will not be affected during the upgrade process. Fuck, Polaroid, system, come out, what do you mean by this? Li Hao looked at the unconscious Li Qingluo and shouted to the system in his heart, host, I am the system, responsible for issuing tasks and distributing rewards. Chatting is not within my job scope. Who asked you to chat? I am asking you, how can there be such a magical tool as Polaroid in this world? Li Hao's face turned black. I don't know how to find girls to chat. I can talk about my ideal life with them, but I just feel uncomfortable chatting with you. I am talking to people in a rude way, since it exists, there is a reason for its existence. Just like you and I exist in this world. Also, doesn't the host want to record his beautiful memories? This thing is much more advanced than the painter you hired, tut tut, the system actually imitated Li Hao and made a weird sound, system plug-in, Polaroid camera has been installed. Please check it yourself. Instructions for using Polaroid camera, when taking pictures, the host only needs to stare at the place where you need to take pictures, and take pictures by default in your mind. Before taking photos, a certain amount of rice paper must be stored in the system space. The size of the photos will be proportional to the size of the paper. I seem to have a lot of rice paper in my space. I bought it for those painters before, but they didn't use it up. As for what I want to take pictures of, I'm so confused. Take a picture. Li Hao gently uncovered the silk clothes covering Li Qingluo. Click, click, click. What did you suck? Li Hao's action still woke Li Qingluo up. Her first reaction after waking up was to cover her chest with both hands. I didn't suck anything. TSK, this person is just pretending. Obviously, I know very well that I sucked everything, but I'm still asking here knowingly. Alas, why was I so impatient just now, and my movements were too big, waking up a sleeping beauty. System, take photos. Li Hao had just finished silently in his mind, and a color photo appeared in his hand. How big is the rice paper? It is almost as long as Li Qingluo's height. The photo taken out is basically the same as the real person. In addition, the built-in camera has a very high pixel, and you can clearly see the thin hairs on the arm and the capillaries under the white skin. You are shameless, a hooligan, and a vulgar. Li Qingluo collapsed instantly when she saw the drawing paper. She rushed over to grab the drawing paper and then tore it to pieces. Why are you so excited? It's just a photo. Li Hao said indifferently, but the system is really a hooligan. It can take such a clear picture, with higher pixels than those cameras worth tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands in the future. Don't cry, what's the big deal? Li Hao hugged Li Qingluo in his arms and comforted her softly. You devil, how can you draw such a thing? If others see it, how can you let me live? Li Qingluo burst into tears. It was a miracle that she didn't collapse after experiencing ups and downs in one day. I didn't draw this. Li Hao explained. This thing was not his words, but the system took it. You didn't draw it. You called others in while I was unconscious. Li Qingluo's pretty face turned pale and she began to tremble all over. What are you doing? Li Hao quickly grabbed her right hand. If he hadn't reacted quickly just now, Li Qingluo would have slapped her head to pieces. I'm not going to live anymore. You scumbag, it's okay to humiliate yourself, I'll just treat it as a mosquito bite, but you still called others in. Li Qingluo was completely desperate. In her life, only Duan Jingchun and Li Hao had touched her, and Wang Yuyan, the dog-licking father, didn't even let him touch her hand. Today, someone actually drew such a vivid picture of her, which was exactly the same as her. I drew it while you were asleep. I'm a pretty good painter, right? But I warn you, if you stay by my side and listen to me, I'll keep it for my own enjoyment. If you don't, I'll spread it all over the world, and let your reputation spread forever. Li Hao threatened. I will definitely listen to you, but I beg you not to show it to others. Li Qingluo's eyes were full of pleading. Seeing Li Hao take out a few more paintings, she no longer had any thoughts of resisting. It was too real. Li Hao's painting skills were not an exaggeration to call him a painting saint, but it was a pity why he liked to draw pornographic pictures, and the protagonist was himself. Don't worry, I never do this kind of thing. It's still early, let's rest. Li Hao lay down directly. Li Qingluo gritted her teeth, thought for a while, and slowly lay down beside Li Hao. This time she completely accepted her fate. Li Hao's methods were not something she could deal with, but this time, what was waiting was not a violent storm, but a gentle breeze and drizzle, which made people happy physically and mentally. Azu, my head hurts so much. In the early morning, in Wang Yuyan's boudoir, Abai slowly sat up. What's going on? I seem to remember that my aunt invited them to dinner yesterday, and I ate a bite of food, then, nothing else. All the memories were blacked out. Me too, my head hurts so much. Miss Wang Yuyan also rubbed her forehead and sat up. What's going on? When did I go back to bed, and why did Azu and Abai also go to my bed? Woo-woo. You just have a headache, but I hurt all over. Azu's voice came from the quilt. She was not honest when she slept, and liked to roll around, so she was accidentally pressed down by the two of them. As the old saying goes, a big butt is good for giving birth. With the conditions of the cousin, there should be no problem for her to give birth to 10 or 8 little masters for the young master. Oh no, we've been fooled. Where's my cousin? Mom won't kill him, will she? Wang Yuyan came to her senses instantly. She knew exactly what kind of person her mother was. When she killed someone, she didn't care who the person was. And her cousin drank her tea yesterday, which was a taboo for her. Chapter 49. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Miss, my aunt won't really kill the second young master, will she? If that happens, we... Bai was young and was frightened by Wang Yuyan's words. She pursed her lips and almost cried. Abi, don't cry first. Let's go find my aunt first. If the second young master is really killed, our Murong family will not be vegetarians. Zhu said murderously. In Gusu, the strength of Tsanhe Manor is the best. In addition to the dangerous terrain of Mantua Manor, there is no comparison with Tsanhe Manor in other aspects. It would be easy for the Murong family to destroy Mantua Manor. After all, they exist for war. Miss, 2 girls, you get up. Outside the door, several female warriors were guarding the door of their boudoir. Get out of the way, I want to find my mother. Wang Yuyan pushed the warriors guarding the door, but her body, which was thinner than yellow flowers, could not push them at all. Miss, the lady has ordered that thieves are disturbing the manor. For safety reasons, you and the 2 girls cannot leave the small building without her order. The female warrior said loudly. Get out of the way, otherwise don't blame me for breaking the rules. Abai was worried that Li Hao would get into trouble, so she was ready to take action. How dare you block the way of the young lady and the 2 girls? Come on, pull her down and chop her up for fertilizer. A cold voice came, and a group of female warriors in white clothes ran over and directly pulled the female warrior who was blocking the door away. The female warrior who blocked the door begged for mercy all the way, but her colleagues were expressionless. It is estimated that this day next year will be her Memorial Day. Grandma Bai, where is our second son? In the past, apart from Li Qingluo, the person that Abai and her friends feared most in Mantua Villa was Grandma Bai. But for Li Hao, they were willing to risk their lives. If the second son died, they would probably feel guilty and be buried with him. Don't worry, ladies. The second young master is having breakfast. I am here to pick you up. Granny Bai said with her head down. Granny Bai has not recovered from her shock since the stone door of the secret room was opened in the morning. What is going on? Li Hao, who was thought to be dead, actually walked out of the secret room alive, except for a little dark eye socket, a little yellow face, and a little unstable walking. There is no other problem. On the other hand, the always strong lady actually held Li Hao's arm in her arms like a little woman, and helped him to tidy up his clothes carefully from time to time. Moreover, Granny Bai found that Li Qingluo was very different from usual today. Her skin became tender, her pretty face became smooth, her eyes became more energetic, and she felt a little fairy-like. Granny Bai had not had time to figure out what happened in the secret room, and the lady asked her to arrange breakfast and pick up Ah Zhu and the others. Li Qing Luo, can you please stop supporting me? Li Hao had a bitter face, looking at Li Qing Luo who was half supporting and half hugging him, and smiled bitterly. This cold woman used to be cold and murderous, but how could she become a little wife in the blink of an eye? However, how can you be obedient to me and let me deal with it? Didn't you see that the eyes of the women around me were full of gossip fire? Can you still walk? Li Qingluo's answer was very concise. Although the tone was still a little cold, it made people feel comfortable. This, can. You should support me. Alas, the consequences of excessiveness are very serious. This Li Qingluo has an extraordinary physique, and she has become younger and more beautiful as the number of times increases. Now let her stand with Wang Yuyan and let people vote to see who is more attractive. It is estimated that most LSPs will vote for her. Li Qingluo is a woman who worships the strong. Duan Jingchun was young and handsome, with strong martial arts and a prominent family background, so she was devoted to Duan Jingchun. Now that Li Hao is so powerful, she admires him so much that she is naturally obedient to him. Mother. Aunt. Wang Yuyan, Ah Zhu, and Ah Bai stood at the door and looked at Li Hao and Wang Yuyan in the hall, and they were petrified. Damn, did we sleep in a bad position last night, which compressed the nerves in the brain and caused hallucinations in our eyes? In the hall, Li Hao was sitting at the table eating noodles, and Mrs. Wang was wiping his mouth gently beside him. Second Master, are you okay? Ah Bai hurried to Li Hao's side, touching him all over to check if he was injured or missing any limbs. What, I'm fine. Li Hao stopped Ah Bai from saying the next move with a dark face. Ha, I'm glad you're okay. If you have any problems, what should we do? Ah Bai's mouth shrank and she almost cried. You guys are still ashamed to say that. You all have no tolerance for alcohol and still want to drink, and the result is, he gets drunk as soon as he touches wine. Li Hao said with a stern face. How did you spend last night? Where did you sleep? According to several ladies, the young master has a strange habit of sleeping. He can't sleep without holding something at night. Even if he falls asleep, the quality of sleep is not good. You all sleep soundly, how can I sleep? Fortunately, my aunt is warm and hospitable, which makes me feel at home. We drank and talked happily last night, watched the stars all night, and talked about our ideals in life. Moreover, my aunt has agreed to let my cousin Yuyan marry me as my co-wife, and all the properties of Montua Villa will be given to me as Yuyan's dowry. My aunt thinks so highly of me, which makes me feel flattered. I also promised in front of everyone that I will take care of my aunt's food, clothing, housing, transportation, marriage and childbirth in the future. Li Hao waved his hand and said a lot of scary words. Mom, is what my second cousin said true? Wang Yuyan wanted to cry but had no tears. I really don't like marrying this gangster. I like my eldest cousin Morong Fu, but the following is Wang Yuyan's inner monologue. She is weak and has no opinion. She will never say such shy words, nor will she go against her mother's wishes. Yuyan, your cousin, and I have discussed it. I have agreed to your marriage. Your cousin has given the betrothal gift. You are now engaged. Pick a good day and get married. Li Qingluo said with a sullen face, what does Li Hao, the bastard, mean by what he said? He takes care of everything from food, clothing, housing, and marriage to having children. Even if I remarry, having children is my husband's business. What does it have to do with you? Chapter 50. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Mother. Wang Yuyan's eyes were filled with tears. Why was this? Cousin, this marriage is all arranged by parents and matchmakers. Just wait for your marriage with peace of mind. Abi, go and help cousin pack her luggage. Cousin will live with us in the future. Children of the Jianhu don't care about so many red tape. Also, cousin, it's not that aunt doesn't love you. It's that these cousins are related by blood. If close relatives within 3 generations marry, the children born may be deformed. You don't want your future children to have crooked mouths, slanted eyes, and convulsions every day, do you? And is also for your own good. It won't be happy for your cousin to live with your cousin. Li Hao smacked his lips and added a few more words. Nonsense, my grandparents also got married to my cousin. Wang Yuyan finally resisted for her own happiness. Yes, because they are close relatives, your father and my brother's mother died early. Short life is also a manifestation of genetic defects. Besides, your father has some problems here. Li Hao pointed to his head, and anyone with a discerning eye knew what he meant. Then why am I fine? Obviously, Wang Yuyan didn't believe Li Hao's nonsense. Do you have anything to ask your aunt? Aunt, please tell me why your cousin Yuyan is fine. Li Hao looked at Li Qingluo jokingly. Why is there no problem? She is so weak that she can't breathe after walking a few steps. She is the same as your dead father. Li Qingluo was very panicked. She couldn't say in public that her daughter was not from the Wang family. Miss, I think what the second young master said makes sense. A neighbor in my hometown also married his cousin, but one of his 2 sons was blind and the other was deaf. And Abai was worthy of being Li Hao's little fangirl, and immediately took the initiative to help Li Hao with his work. I don't believe it. Wang Yuyan looked like she was not a fool. Don't think I don't know that the reason why I can't breathe after walking a few steps is that my breasts are too big. You just want to fool me. It's not up to you whether you believe it or not. It's your parents' order and the matchmaker's words. If you keep arguing, I will let you consummate your marriage now. Li Qingluo said with a sullen face, my daughter, if you don't marry him, your mother will be in trouble, young people are full of firepower. If your mother gets pregnant, we can't see anyone. When the child is born, will he call you sister or little mother? If you happen to get pregnant and give birth to a child, your brother and child can still drink some milk. I agree. Just adjust the atmosphere, don't look at me. Li Hao scratched his head awkwardly. In the end, Wang Yuyan still couldn't twist her arm and thigh, and had to say goodbye to Murongfu, who belonged to her heart, and packed up her things and followed Li Hao back to Chanhe village. Originally, Li Hao strongly requested Li Qingluo to go with them, but Li Qingluo refused Li Hao's kindness on the grounds that it was inconvenient. Finally, in Mrs. Li's bedroom, after 2 hours of unsuccessful persuasion, Li Hao could only leave Montua Villa with Wang Yuyan, Azu, Abi, and a piece of goose yellow diamond-shaped silk embroidered with 2 ducks. Congratulations to the host for successfully collecting the 516th place in the comprehensive martial arts group, the Duan family princess, Azu. The reward is being calculated. Congratulations to the host for obtaining non-attribute internal force *10. Bosi snake gall *9999, villain value *1000. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the magic sword, Longquan's sword. Congratulations to the host for completing 10 main tasks within the specified time, and the system meets the upgrade conditions. The system upgrade is expected to take 12 hours, and all system functions can be used normally during the upgrade. System upgrading. On the big ship back to Chanhe village, Li Hao looked at Zhu and Bai lying there in a daze. Damn, I was just bored and wanted to improve my skills, but how come the system upgraded? Forget it, I'm too lazy to think about it. Anyway, it won't hurt me if the system is upgraded. Scratching his head, Li Hao habitually found 2 small diamond-shaped pieces of cloth in the pile of clothes on the floor of the guest room, one pink, one light green, with a cluster of roses embroidered on the pink, and a plum blossom embroidered on the light green. The embroidery is very exquisite and worth collecting and studying. Li Hao habitually put it into the system space. As for whether the 2 would have any opinions, that was not within his consideration. Second master, we will be at the dock soon. Bai looked at Li Hao, who was sleeping like a piglet, and was so angry that it hurt. He and Zhu felt sorry for Li Hao for watching the stars all night last night. After getting on the boat, the two took the initiative to help him massage to relieve fatigue. As a result, it's like this now. Are we there yet? Li Hao asked sleepily. We're there, Brother Deng is waiting for you at the dock, and he seems to be in a hurry. Azu and Abi said as they dressed him. What could he be doing? Li Hao asked curiously. I don't know. Second master, can I ask? Abi said shyly. You tell me, I'll listen. Have you seen our clothes? We can't find our clothes. Abi's pretty face flushed, and her hands were nowhere to be put. I didn't see it. Did you wear it? I don't think you wore it. Li Bai asked curiously, System, I like to see the host talking nonsense seriously. Master, how can you say that? It was obviously you who took it off, and you said it looked good. Azu refuted what Li Hao said. Okay, if you didn't see it, you won't wear it. Li Hao said carelessly. It's really uncomfortable not to wear it. It feels like it's swaying. Ah, Zhu murmured. Anyway, it's all wrapped in clothes. No one knows except me, it's okay. Li Hao comforted the two newly married girls. The previous experience felt very good, and the body and mind were happy. It effectively relieved physical fatigue and increased the quality of sleep. Second master, you are finally back. Ah, cousin, you are here too. As soon as Li Hao got off the boat, Deng Baichuan brought a large number of people to protect Li Hao. Oops. Li Hao saw that the situation was not right. Did Deng Baichuan know that he was a Westerner and brought people to find trouble? Brother Deng Wang Yuyan was in a bad mood and only greeted him verbally. Two girls, what's wrong with you? Deng Baichuan looked at the two women who were limping and supporting each other and asked curiously. It's okay, Brother Deng, we just had leg cramps. Why did you bring so many people out today? Abi replied in a low voice. Abi glanced at Li Hao. Alas, this injury, I don't know when it will recover.